Media platforms where the peanut gallery seems that all right then. Welcome back to the Foxhole. Your faithful host, Ken Harlan here. On a Monday, Tremors 007, paying homage to James Bond himself, Her Majesty's Secret Service. Well, I figure I'd do a Tremors because maybe the spirit of you talking about this during this week's AftershoX and Fox Dragon and Foxhole. Like, subscribe to FTI and FX Media's YouTube channel for all that great content. We talk about the WNBA here, so I don't have to do it later in the week. All right, it's been another weekend. The W freaking A, as they say. Lots of content creators. The gift that keeps on giving. Deani Carrington and Sophie Cunningham. Miss Carrington, an interesting character, obviously got ejected for the hard foul of Sophie Cunningham. The slap heard across the interwebs and the world. And it's eliciting all kinds of commentary, responses, theater at its finest. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. So I'm just going to try to freestyle my way through this and talk for a few minutes about this and get this off my chest so I don't have to talk about it this week. Miss Carrington and her blonde hair, well, that blonde wig she wears, a sister, who after the hard foul tried to get back with Sophie, and you better watch yourself with Sophie. She might be blonde, but she'll mix it up with your boo-boo. Anyway, goes to the locker room and goes to the safe space of threads and I guess whatever you call that there, post white privilege. White privilege being uttered once again. And compounded by the sisterhood of ESPN. You know, what do they call her? Monica McNutcase, Jamel Thrill-Hill, Carrie, a has-been that never was champion, Malika Andrews, who I guess everybody gives a pass to, that other silly one, and Miss Umbake, all sort of, and even Shara Miller and Sue Bird getting in on it. And it's almost like I think with all these women, who women supposedly are supposed to support other women, that they don't like these two white girls that have brought quite a following to the league. And I understand people that get pissed at Sophie because that she's blonde and the fact that she only scores 4 or 5 points. I get it. But you know what? What did Marisa Keep Division say? Man, y'all were riding buses and getting hot dogs and still popcorn in the green room afterwards before these ladies came onto the scene. And you know me, if you've been following my platforms for the last, 6 years or so, I told you all, this was going to happen. And that what were we expecting when we have people who are competing? It's just so funny, though, that you never see this kind of nonsense in men's leagues. Where your coach, Stephanie White, or Methany White, as a lot of you folks call her, defending the other player who's clearly doing some thuggish stuff. Did it before when Caitlyn got punched in the throat. I mean, y'all, this league plays to every silly stereotype men have about women's sports. And like I said, this is not being chauvinist or misogynistic. These are facts. Or anybody who's got, I even see women going to TikTok, YouTube, talking about how vile and silly this league has truly become. I mean, a coach sticking up for another player. I don't care if she coached them before. And this hate towards Sophie and Caitlyn, it's just ridiculous. I mean, there are times when my threshold of both of them, I get close to my limit too. But right at this point, with everybody else, the folks who are calling for sisterhood among ladies who are doing everything but that, yeah, I gotta say, I'm deeply in, the dynamic duo's corner. And, I worry about Sophie, her being a role player when it's time for her to re-up. Does she get Colin Kaepernick and blackballed from the W? Or should I call it the I? This is really the I, not the W anymore. Right. And it's funny because, I always talk about the content creators that are part of the Caitlin Clark ecosphere. And one of the people I always bring up, Rachel Demita, I think she does a heck of a job, especially since she's not a simp. We actually get some pretty decent, insights from her side of the street. But, she said it, and she's like complaining on a rant about this is the everything but basketball league that it's become. And I'm like, Rachel, sit down and have a cup of joe with me. Because as far as I can remember, this league has always been an activist league. This is not new. I mean, everybody is on some amnesia that Caitlin Clark brought all this drama when these wackos have been doing this for the last decade, but probably even longer. They're just pissed because, a great part of America has really taken heart to these two white girls who happen to be straight, not gay, not lesbian. One that came out speaking of that, I'm not anti-trans, I just don't think biological men should be playing sports against women. And the firestorm that it set off. And that, what did Sports Illustrated say? Sophie's getting her own karmic justice. No wonder nobody takes Sports Illustrated serious as a publication. You folks in the media playing along with the race-baiting, gender-hustling narrative. Because it gets you friggin' clicks. And while it's very nauseating. WTF times 21 as far as that goes. Yeah. It's just been crazy. What's that, Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne and the Blizzard of Oz. Yeah, I can hear it in the background every time the W comes up. And, for the content creators out there, especially those who have a big following, pennies from heaven. For the rest of us, it's just, it's really becoming insufferable. White privilege and a bunch of people rallying around this knucklehead. And we came at Sandy Brondello because she called Angel Reese a protected species. I mean, yeah, the insanity that happens in this league, you couldn't make this stuff up, even if you took 8 hits of 4-way window pane, the Owsley stuff. My goodness. Okay, folks, big week coming up. Got some good stuff. AftershoX, hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest. Try to get Foxtrotting out and Foxtrotting in a Foxhole out this Friday, but it might trickle into Saturday. But we're definitely trying to stay away from the Sunday. Okay, man, keep it clean, keep it tight, stay safe, stay sane. Avoid the bracelets at all costs because ain't got no time for that nonsense. Keep it tight, keep it clean with a smile. We'll talk to you soon.